Anything else trending? Like, what else are you hearing?
There's just a little bit of everything. Like, I don't know. There's not much. Well, I did hear that the whole Gaza Strip thing, like did they kill 25,000 citizens in Gaza?
Maybe. That could be. Yeah. I don't know.
That's the number I hear.
That sounds like a lot of citizens, just like men, women, and children that are just living their lives and trying to raise their families and have a business and have fun. Like, they just like killed them all.
Yeah, I'm not there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but I saw that. Like,
that's horrific.
I saw Ben Shapiro and Elon Musk. They were doing like an Auschwitz, like Holocaust tour to bring awareness to the Gaza Strip. Like, it's the same thing. Like, the extermination of people at the Auschwitz concentration camp was just as bad as what happened in Gaza.
Wow.
So,
the inhumanity.
Yeah. And yeah, so I wonder if that's only one place in the whole world.
That's suffering. Yeah, that's like collective suffering. And there's other parts of the world that are suffering greatly too. And I feel like that weighs on the consciousness of all of humanity.
Yeah.
And you say, what is yours to do in that? And you say, are we adding to the collective suffering, or are we adding to the collective enlightening?
Yeah. Because you have to be aware of it before you end it. So I think we're aware of most of it, honestly.
It seems like awareness is growing. That should be our trending now, is awareness is trending.
Yeah. Yeah. What's trending also is like conspiracies. It's like become a social media branding type, like a niche.
Yep.
Like, if you want eyeballs, if you want to write something, and you want followers, or you want whatever, you have to post a good conspiracy. And it seems like they're really reaching on some of these conspiracies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're just throwing out any doctored video, or
Yeah.
and they're saying it's like there's a new conspiracy every day now.
Yep.
I don't know if we should blame Joe Rogan or what, but because it starts with like the moon landing, aliens, and like JFK, and
Yeah.
which is like a fun thing to do.
It's a thought exercise.
Yeah.
You say, what if, and what would it be like?
Yeah. And then you can start doing that with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually kind of see that as a positive thing. That's an unlearning that people are learning, is they're starting to trust their intuition more than their history of knowledge, and then they're just putting it to a logic test and saying, what's what, and then you say who are the stakeholders, who stands to benefit from any particular scenario, and then just bring additional thought and awareness to it. There's a funny comedian that said, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said he doesn't believe in any conspiracies. And the comedian goes, "You don't believe in any of them? Like none of them? Like zero? You expect that the government's batting 1,000, telling you the whole truth?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I've got a son, and I lie to that kid all the time."
Yeah.
So
yeah, which makes me think that.
So the comedian's just saying, like, if you have more information than, say, a kid, then you can kind of.
Yeah, but you're looking at
how much information the kid is going to have access to.
Yeah.
So if you control flow of information, so his point of, the government or the media or whatever, having access to information, how much information do they give to the kid, the public?
Mm-hmm. But in this analogy, don't you want the best for your own son?
Yeah.
So you don't tell him everything for his own benefit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's always the what's top secret for the benefit of the kid.
Conspiring for our good.
Conspiring for the kid's good or for the public's good. Or you just trying to control the kid. You're just trying to control the behaviors and put framework around the thought process of the public or the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's two different scenarios. So like if you're in like a religious cult,
mm-hmm.
you are manipulating the kid. You don't even know you're doing it for their bad, almost.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for control. It's like the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I tend to think that the things are conspiring for our good.
Oh, absolutely.
But then you think of have you seen the movie Jesus Camp?
No.
Oh, it's a really good one.
Okay.
But you see these like hillbilly type people who really get off on just telling little kids how to be and how to memorize a scripture. They make these kids cry, and there's
That's
no
painful.
There's no greater good.
Yeah.
The only greater good is their egos.
It fills their ego. Yeah. Because it confirms separateness.
So I just hope that the people in charge aren't like a cult and just trying to manipulate us into being a born-again youth minister.
Yeah.
I've always thought, since I was a little kid, I want my kids to be better than me.
Mm-hmm.
They should be.
Yeah.
But I feel like the generation before us, they all had egos.
It was, yeah. Yep.
And the fact that, no, you don't know better.
I know better than you.
Better.
And I will exert my control over you because I know better. And they're defined by that role. They take that role into their identity, which feeds their ego.
Yeah. And so, as let's say a 14 to 16-year-old kid who's, those people who are those ages
mm-hmm.
are brilliant. Their brains are developing and they know so much
mm-hmm.
that you have to start using reason and logic with them.
Yeah.
To say oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's hard. That's hard for parents and older generations to do. To admit, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they don't look at the idea for the idea's sake. They look at the messenger or the person who's bringing up the idea, and then their ego will try to diminish the person who's bringing up the idea to discount the validity of the idea.
Yeah. Like, I've been a manager of sales at Nestle for 6 years. There's no way this 16-year-old kid knows. You know?
I manage a Circuit City, so,
Yeah. So, yeah.
therefore I know more than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
But,
but the onus is on the wisdom of the older, to recognize that in themselves and appreciate the newness of an idea, or the freshness of a new mind.
yeah.
And to your point, and maybe it's widespread, that generation had more of a this is the way type attitude, and that probably came from hardship, from struggle.
You think?
As if to say, I struggled so much and I'm still standing, therefore my ideas and ways are better than anyone else's.
Well, what would feed the ego more? Struggles and lessons learned? Or
Ease.
ease and coddling?
Yeah.
Because my theory is that the greatest generation, who's pretty much died off, people who fought in World War II, World War I, they came back and they had kids. Those kids had it so easy that's where I think that they had it so easy that their ego was
soft.
fed. Yeah.
And it was, yeah. Well, that's the so you've heard it said that hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create tough times, and then tough times create strong men again.
Yeah, aka strong men, greatest generation, weak men, baby boomers.
Yep.
And then so right now
It's all playing out.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're in a information age where there's going to be less less influence from parents and teachers and more influence from information.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
Because access to information and awareness is really the way and the path forward. I mean, if you take the idea of universal consciousness and complete intelligence, then the more and more information that becomes available, then the more intelligent the species becomes.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, I think of it as just like removing blockages. You think so? Even in the human body, and I think we've talked about it before, but like the process of surgery is to remove a blockage so that the body can heal itself. And then you take that on a grander scale. You remove blockages. You remove, harmful things from the collective consciousness and from humanity, and then you let the intelligence and the wonderful being of humanity to thrive. And that's with information right now. So if in the literate world, people who can read and write have access to information, the more and more information that is available, then the better off we are.
Yeah.
Which is all an effort to do what? End suffering.